Learn English through story. The Lion and the Storm. In a vast jungle, there lived a proud lion named Leo. Ever since he was a cub, he had been told that he was the king of the jungle. This made him arrogant, believing he was stronger and more important than any other animal. He rarely acknowledged the smaller creatures and never accepted help from anyone. One afternoon, dark clouds gathered in the sky, and a powerful storm swept through the jungle. The wind howled, trees bent under its force, and heavy rain poured down relentlessly. Leo, who had been resting under a large tree, suddenly found himself in danger. A massive branch broke off and trapped his leg. No matter how hard he struggled, he couldn't free himself. As the storm raged on, a tiny squirrel named Pip saw Leo's predicament. Pip hesitated for a moment. After all, Leo had never shown kindness to anyone. But Pip couldn't just walk away. He ran to gather a few of his friends, a clever beaver, a strong tortoise, and a flock of birds. The beaver gnawed through part of the branch. The tortoise pushed it with all his might, and the birds helped clear the smaller twigs around Leo's trapped leg. After several attempts, the branch finally rolled away, freeing Leo. He stood up, surprised and grateful. Leo looked down at the tiny creatures who had just saved him. "Why did you help me?" he asked, humbled for the first time in his life. Pip smiled. "Because strength isn't just about power. It's also about knowing when to accept help." From that day forward, Leo no longer saw himself as just a king. He saw himself as part of the jungle, where every creature, big or small, had value. The Little Teapot's Journey. In a small shop by the roadside, a little teapot named Theo sat on a shelf, waiting for someone to buy him. He had been there for months, watching as customers picked fancier teapots, leaving him behind. Unlike the elegant porcelain teapots with golden handles, Theo was simple, made of plain ceramic. "I'll never be chosen," Theo sighed. "Maybe I'm just not special." One day, an old man entered the shop. His hands were rough, and his clothes were simple. He carefully examined the expensive teapots, but then turned to Theo. He lifted him gently and smiled. "This one is perfect," the man said. Theo couldn't believe it. Someone had finally chosen him. But his excitement faded when he realized where he was being taken. An old, dusty house with mismatched furniture. It wasn't the grand dining room he had dreamed of. Feeling disappointed, Theo sat on a small wooden table, unused and forgotten. But soon, something magical happened. The old man poured tea into him every morning, humming softly as he drank. Friends and neighbors visited, sharing stories over cups of tea. Laughter and warmth filled the little house. Theo realized something important. It wasn't about being in the fanciest place. It was about being where he was needed and loved. The Firefly Who Wanted to Shine Brighter. Lumi, the firefly, loved flying through the night sky. But no matter how hard she tried, her light never shone as brightly as the stars above. She looked up at the sky in frustration. "I wish I could be as bright as the stars," she sighed. Determined, Lumi searched for ways to shine brighter. She tried eating glowing mushrooms, bathing in the moonlight, and even rubbing her tiny wings together faster. But her glow remained the same. One evening, she met an old owl who noticed her distress. "Why do you want to shine like the stars?" the owl asked. "Because I feel so small," Lumi admitted. No one notices my light when the stars are so bright. The owl chuckled. Come with me. Lumi followed the owl deep into the forest, where everything was pitch black. Now, the owl said, shine your light. Lumi blinked and slowly lit up. In the darkness, her glow was mesmerizing. The other fireflies, lost in the shadows, gathered around her, finding their way home. At that moment, Lumi understood. She didn't need to shine like the stars. She only needed to shine where she was needed. The Cracked Cup. In a grand tea house, there was a beautiful collection of teacups. They were polished, elegant, and perfectly shaped. But among them was one cup that was different. Its surface had a small crack running along its side. This cup, named Zero, often heard whispers from the others. Look at that crack, they said. No one will ever choose him. Zero felt ashamed. No matter how hard he tried to look perfect, the crack remained. Every time someone entered the tea house, they always picked the flawless cups, leaving him untouched on the shelf. One evening, an old woman walked into the tea house. She carefully examined each cup. When she reached Zero, she smiled and picked him up. The other cups gasped in surprise. This one is special, the woman said. I'll take it. Zero was confused. Why had she chosen him? Back at her home, the woman poured tea into Zero and placed him on her windowsill. As the tea seeped through his tiny crack, droplets fell onto the soil of a small plant below. Days passed, and the plant began to grow, its leaves stretching toward the sun. Zero finally understood. His crack, the thing he had been ashamed of, had a purpose. Because of him, something beautiful had flourished. The Little Umbrella's Dream. In a small town, a red umbrella named Rusty sat on a shop shelf. His biggest dream was to be bought by someone important, maybe a businessman, or a famous traveler who would take him on exciting adventures. One rainy afternoon, a little girl with muddy shoes and a worn-out coat entered the shop with her mother. She pointed at Rusty. Mom, can we get this one? Rusty's heart sank. A child? He had imagined grand journeys, not playgrounds and puddles. But before he could protest, he was already in her tiny hands. First, life wasn't what Rusty had expected. He was dragged through puddles, twirled in the air, and even used as a pretend sword. But something surprising happened. He had never felt more alive. He wasn't just protecting someone from the rain. He was part of laughter, joy, and adventure. Rusty realized that the greatest journeys weren't always the ones we planned. They were the ones filled with love and unexpected moments. The Stone That Wanted to Fly. In a peaceful valley, a small stone named Pebble lay by a riverbank. Every day, he watched as birds soared through the sky, free and weightless. I wish I could fly, Pebble thought. The other stones laughed. You're a rock. Rocks don't fly. But Pebble refused to believe that. One day, a boy came to the river, picking up stones to skip across the water. He picked up Pebble, examined him, and then gave him a perfect throw. Pebble soared across the river, bouncing over the water, before finally landing on the other side. It was only for a moment, but he had flown. As he settled onto his new spot, Pebble smiled. Maybe he hadn't grown wings, but he had found a way to touch the sky. The Candle and the Sun. In a small village, inside a humble little house, there was a tiny candle named Flicker. She sat on a wooden shelf, surrounded by books, a clock, and a few old photographs. Every night, the family lit her wick, and she cast a warm glow over the room. She loved the way her soft light made the home feel cozy, how her flame danced gently in the air. But during the day, Flicker felt small and useless. She would look out the window and see the mighty sun, shining so brightly that it filled the entire sky with golden warmth. The sun gave life to everything: trees, flowers, people, and animals. Meanwhile, Flicker was just a tiny candle, her light barely reaching the corners of the room. One day, Flicker sighed and spoke to the old lantern beside her. "I wish I could shine like the sun. My light is so small compared to his. What's the point of glowing if no one notices me?" The lantern chuckled softly. "Ah, dear Flicker, the sun may be bright, but have you ever noticed what happens when night falls?" Flicker thought for a moment. Every evening, when the sun disappeared beyond the horizon, the world turned dark. People reached for lanterns, lamps, and yes, even small candles like her. That night, a storm rolled in. The winds howled, and suddenly, the power went out. The house was plunged into complete darkness. The little children, who had been playing, huddled close to their parents, frightened. Then, the father struck a match and lit Flicker's wick. Her small flame flickered to life, filling the room with a soft, comforting glow. The children's eyes lit up with relief. The mother smiled as she continued knitting by candlelight. The father told stories, their faces warm in Flicker's gentle radiance. At that moment, Flicker realized something. The sun may light up the whole world, but she was the one who brought comfort in the darkness. She didn't need to be as big or as bright as the sun. She had her own special purpose. The cloud that didn't want to rain. Puffy was a small white cloud who loved drifting across the sky. He enjoyed watching the rolling hills below, the rivers that sparkled like ribbons, and the cities filled with people moving like tiny ants. He felt light, carefree, and happy. One day, an older cloud floated beside him and said, "It's time for you to rain, little one." Puffy frowned. "But if I rain, I'll disappear." The older cloud smiled gently. "That's true, but raining is our purpose. Without us, the earth will dry up." Puffy didn't like that idea. He wanted to stay in the sky forever, enjoying his endless journey. So, he held onto his water as tightly as he could, refusing to let go. Days passed, and Puffy grew heavier. His once soft, white form turned dark and gray. He no longer floated freely. He struggled, weighed down by his own burden. Below him, the grass turned brown, and the rivers ran low. He saw a farmer staring at his dry field, a deer searching desperately for a stream, and children looking up at the sky, wishing for rain. Puffy took a deep breath. He closed his eyes and finally let go. Raindrops tumbled down in a soft, rhythmic melody, touching the earth with life. The farmer smiled as his crops soaked in the water. The deer drank from a newly formed puddle. The children laughed and danced in the rain. And Puffy? He felt lighter, freer than he had in weeks. He no longer felt like he was disappearing. Instead, he realized he was becoming part of something bigger, a cycle of renewal, growth, and life. The Broken Violin. Vio had once been a proud violin, played by a great musician in grand concert halls. His wood gleamed under the lights, and his strings produced melodies that made hearts soar. But one day, during a performance, he slipped from the musician's hands and crashed to the floor. His body cracked, his sound changed, and soon he was replaced. For years, Vio sat forgotten in an old music shop, covered in dust. The other instruments whispered about him. "He's broken," they said. "No one will ever play him again." One day, a young boy named Theo entered the shop. He had always wanted a violin, but his family was poor. The shopkeeper noticed his longing gaze and smiled. "I have something for you," the shopkeeper said, handing him Vio. "But it's broken." Theo hesitated. "Give it a chance," the shopkeeper said. Theo took Vio home, carefully tuning his strings. When he played the first note, it was rough and uneven, but he didn't give up. Day after day, he practiced, his fingers learning every inch of Vio's surface. The crack no longer mattered. The music still lived inside. Years later, Theo stood on a stage, playing the same broken violin in front of a mesmerized audience. The instrument that had once been abandoned now filled the world with beautiful music again. The Lonely Sock. Lenny and Lou were a perfect pair of socks. They went everywhere together, on long hikes, in warm boots, even on rainy days. They were inseparable. But one day, after a trip through the washing machine, Lou was gone. Lenny searched everywhere, but his best friend was nowhere to be found. Days turned into weeks, and Lenny sat at the bottom of the drawer, feeling forgotten. A single sock is useless, he thought. But then, one day, the little girl who owned him picked him up. Instead of throwing him away, she placed him on her hand like a puppet and began telling funny stories. Later, she stitched him into a small pouch for her marbles. Lenny realized that life doesn't always go as planned, but sometimes, new beginnings are even better than old ones.